There's a song that's part of the soundtrack of The Heart of Me, and it just makes this film so much more beautiful, and that is Helena Bonham Carter singing Heart and Soul. It is beautiful. If you check out the video I did celebrating 35 years of HBC, I actually used that as the soundtrack. The film, however, The Heart of Me, was released in 2002, directed by Thaddeus O'Sullivan, I hope I pronounced that correctly, and written by Rosamond, Lehmann and Lucinda Coxon, and stars, of course, Helena Bonham Carter alongside Olivia Williams and Paul Bettany. And this is set in 1930s, which makes me very excited because 1930s is one of my favourite times for period dramas. Of course, this gives us some beautiful scenery, lovely costumes, just the whole aesthetic of the 1930s is just so pleasing when it's done right on film, and it's absolutely done right here. I'll read the description from IMDb to give you a brief overview of what this is about, but I'm not going to spoil anything. I don't want to ruin anything of the narrative, but ultimately I can confirm that I absolutely recommend this. So, 1930s London, two sisters, Madeleine and Dinah, one marries Rickie, the other falls in love with him. He begins an affair, which is to have repercussions throughout their lives. So, two sisters trapped in a love triangle with Rickie, played by Paul Bettany. Madeleine is played by Olivia Williams, who is the wife, and HBC plays Dinah, who is, of course, the sister, the other woman, if you like. And normally the more romantic period dramas don't really excite me that much, and I'm not going to say that's the most thrilling, gripping narrative ever, but it's beautiful. It's very well developed, and the characters just slot right into the narrative so easily, and I feel like the casting is great. I think everybody works well together on screen, and I can't really fault it. Costumes are by Sheena Napier. I have to say the costumes are absolutely beautiful, and that's something that I always look for in a film set at the beginning or in the first few decades of the 20th century. I just feel like the right costumes can make or break a film, and it helps make it here, and there's nothing wrong with it. If I were to give it a rating, it's got 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb. I'd say I actually agree with that. I think that's fair. I wouldn't quite give it a 7. 7 I reserve for films that I kind of know that I want to watch again immediately. This one, once I'd watched it, it's about an hour and a half, I felt fulfilled, but I didn't want to start from the beginning again. I did, however, want to listen to HBC singing Heart and Soul, which I have done many, many times over. It's lovely. If you're looking for a film set in the 30s, specifically 30s London, which is just beautiful to see, this is a great one to go for. It's not the most well-known film. It's got just over 2,000 reviews, which is, decent for IMDb, decent enough. But I don't know anybody in my personal life or my personal circles who has seen this. I'd love to change that. I'd love for somebody to watch it and discuss it with me, because I have some other thoughts spilling around. But ultimately, The Heart of Me is a really lovely film, and definitely worth checking out. HBC is obviously gorgeous, not one of my favourite of her films, but the bar is exceptionally high anyway. But it's beautiful, and because this gave us HBC singing Heart and Soul, this will always have a very large space in my heart.